Oh, that one sounded like a toot.
It did.
I didn't toot, I promise. Welcome.
Welcome. Welcome.
Welcome. Welcome back to the Unhinged BookCast. This is a book podcast hosted by two book besties. I'm LJ.
And I'm Jess. Whether this is your first time joining or you've been here from the start, we are happy and thankful you're joining us.
Whether we're deep diving into thoughts and theories or just writing the vibes, we love discussing our current reads with each other and now with all of you.
Tonight is our first discussion of The Road of Bones by Demi Winters.
We'll be talking about chapters 1 through 22.
You can join our discussions spoiler-free chapter by chapter in our club on the Fable app.
While we're on it, please do all the things, liking, following, and subscribing on all of our platforms for the Unhinged BookCast.
Before we get started, we need to give a quick content warning.
We are reading romantic fantasy books, which tend to include violence, war, and the occasional no pants dances.
Though our conversations tend to skirt these topics, we do frequently use naughty words that are not intended for little listening ears.
Now that we've got that out of the way, let's get started. We're keeping with our categories of discussion.
So first, let's go into characters. So these will be, it's a new book, so they're all new
Right.
characters
It's
right
a
now.
bajillion
Oh my gosh.
characters. Holy smokes.
I know. I was like, okay, there's another name, another name,
There's
another name. And I'm like,
multiple
I
point
don't
of
know who's
views,
gonna be
like,
important and who's not, so I'm just putting all of them down right now.
right? Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
And I know your list was way longer than mine. I had most of the same as yours, but
Okay. Yeah, I was like, every time I saw a name, I'm like, okay, I'll put that one down because I don't know who's gonna be
right in
necessary
it
down
for
the
the whole
road.
thing. Like I think we
Yeah.
have two main female characters though.
I think so too.
Yeah. So I think it's Scylla and I think it's
Skrida.
Skirda.
Skrida. Have you listened at all?
Yes, I've been listening
Okay,
to it too. So I was trying to remember this out, but it's Skrida or something like that.
Skrida. It's like very Viking, maybe
And it's
some
very Irishy,
Scottish.
Scottishy. Yeah.
Yeah, and like so I know there's a lot of rolled R's and things that don't say what you think they say. So we're gonna
Yes.
really butcher
We're gonna
these names.
butcher them, but we're gonna do our best.
Yep. All right. So our main, most likely our main FMC, Scylla. Um, Scylla Marguerite, not sure. I'm guessing that's her
Margaret,
middle
yeah.
name. Has a bunch of aliases. She's gone by Katrine, Thordis, Ingun, Gundrun. Like I said, lots
Mhm.
of weird names. She's 20 years old, and her father gave her the nickname Moonflower, which I'm wondering is if that's going to be important later or
I
not.
think so too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I threw that in there. We're going to talk a lot about her more later, but for right now,
Yeah.
that's our FMC.
And then I also had like her little blonde ghost girl
Yeah,
companion or whatever, which I'll get into it later, but I think this is like a little sister of hers or something like that.
yeah, I have some thoughts on that one too.
Yep. And then I have Feathers the owl.
Hmm.
I don't know how important or not important, or if this is just like a gonna be a companion of some sort, but I
Yeah.
love owls, so
Oh, cool.
I'm here for the ride. So Feathers,
Okay, and then I had, again, like I said, I don't know who's important, who's not.
right?
Olaf the Red, I feel like they mentioned this person.
Character a couple times,
They did. In the
but
beginning, it seemed important, but I'm wondering if it was just, if it's not important now.
mhm.
And then we've got, is it, okay, from listening to, is it
Jarl,
Jarl?
Jarl,
Jarl? Jarl? Jarl
Gunnel.
Gunnel?
Yeah,
Gunnel?
sure.
Cool. Which we gathered that like Jarl is like a title, like Duke or something
Yeah.
like that. And Gunnel is the actual name of the person.
Yep.
But that's who she worked for in the beginning.
Yep.
And then Bera, which is Jarl Gunnell's wife. Again, don't know if they're coming back or not.
Yep.
Then we have King, is it Ivar or Ivar?
Ivor.
Ivor? Ivor?
Hmm.
King Ivor Ironheart of the great line of the Erkinsea kings, son of King Harold of Norvaland, and the great sovereign of the kingdom of Isildur?
Isildur.
Isildur?
Hmm.
Obviously, he's important. And I
Yep.
feel like he's our bad guy.
Maybe.
Possibly.
I don't know.
Possibly. It's hard to tell right now.
Yep. Ursa is the King Ivor's,
Ursa.
like the bear god.
Like they're like bear god.
Hmm. And the Clarenar.
Claire,
I'm
yeah, you did that
trying.
great.
Yep.
Claire and R, I like it.
Yep. The Clarenar. The King's Guard.
Okay, and then Scylla's father, well, not father, but father figure. Uh,
Not the mama. That is all I could think about when that happened.
I
I
don't get
thought
that
it was
reference,
so.
honestly.
You don't? It's from
No.
this show called Dinosaurs, and there was this little baby,
Oh,
and
we
then like
weren't
used to
allowed to
always
watch that.
smack the dad with like a spoon or something. You go, not the mama.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to watch that.
Oh, okay. It was
I don't
hilarious,
know
but that's like
why.
all I remember. But
Um,
yeah. Anyway, not the
anyways,
mama.
so yeah, not the mama, Scylla's father, not the father. Matthias? Matthias?
Mattis.
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 Okay, which actually his real name is Tomas.
Thomas.
Tomas?
Yep.
Thomas? I think it's Tomas. Um, yeah, I don't
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
There's secrets. There's so many
There's
secrets.
secrets. There's secrets.
Yep.
Um,
Tolvik.
Tolvik,
Yep.
which I don't know if he's important or not, but
I
he's
don't
the
know
kind
either.
stable hand and he
But it sounded like
was
she
like
kind
a
of had a crush on
rebel.
him.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like the really nice guy, stable hand, and then I think he's like a rebel because what we gather is like there's the pagan gods and then there's supposedly the real gods.
Mhm.
There's the rebels,
There's
um,
the old gods, is what they call them.
the old gods, yes. And you have lots of our others. They started to roll together a little bit, these all of our
Yeah.
series
Yeah.
with some of these terms.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Ursur's Gothy. I'm not sure what it is,
Gothy. Yeah.
but it's like the priest. Like
Of
Ursur
sorts.
is the bear god, so it's like the priests, sort of,
Yep.
of the bear god.
Yep. And then the Galdra.
Hmm.
Sure, those with magic, we're assuming we don't actually have
That's
like
like
a
the title that they give to the people with magic,
yeah.
is what I gathered. Because they're like, oh, you're Galdra, or I'm Galdra, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Sunvald.
So, ooh, I like how you said that.
One of the pagan gods, I guess. You put pagan gods, but
Yeah, that's
I
what it
think it
is.
was like technically one of the old gods, but
That's the one that, yeah. Well, they called it pagan god, which I think they're synonymous. I think the old gods, pagan gods, I think it's the same thing,
okay.
is what I gathered. I don't know.
We don't know. We
But
don't know.
that's who Tolvik was like calling to in the square when he got in big trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't even remember who this next person is. I didn't put any notes.
What does
Was
he
just a
have?
name? Is
Oh,
that ringing
that's
a
the
bell?
Kill John or
Bill
whatever.
John?
I
Who is
think
that?
they're like the bears, the bear creatures. I think. I don't remember, but
Are
I think they're
they
the bear
okay? I don't
creatures.
know. I'll be honest, I
And
was
then
falling asleep half the time I was reading this, and not because it was boring.
really?
I just kept, no, it's
Oh,
not because it
okay.
was boring. I loved it. I love it. I just kept reading really late at night. And it's been a
Yeah,
long
that's
week.
true. Yeah, it's been a week, that's for sure.
So,
Also, the vampire deer, heck yes.
yeah.
We
This made
haven't
me
seen them
laugh.
yet, but
This made me laugh because my cousin who comes out and hunts, he's pretty talented at drawing, and he drew this like really demonic, creepy looking antelope for my kids when he was here one of the time. And now Jack keeps talking about the scary deer. There's some scary deer, and Luke is terrified of the dark now because of this scary deer. And
oh
so now
god.
my our book has vampire deer, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, it's on the cover. There's one on the cover, like a
See, I just
skull
have it on
of
my
it.
Kindle, so I don't know what it looks
Oh
like.
yeah. So like they have the ravens on it, and then there's the two moons,
Mm.
and there's like these orange butterflies that are off like the antlers that are wrapped in stuff, and then there's like these mushrooms that are around it and some skulls. It's cool.
Hmm.
I like the cover.
Then we have Queen, how do you say it?
I think it was Signy.
Signy. That's how I've been saying it. So, okay.
Signy, yeah.
Queen Signy, that would be King Ivar's wife.
Yeah. And
I think
also the
she's going to
one
be important
looking, yeah, she's looking for
for Galdra people, and
hmm
she's looking for Scylla, but she's looking
specifically. Yep.
for Galdra, yeah, and uses them.
And then Skreda Holf.
Mm-hmm.
Holf. She's a Solsler.
Solicer? Solicer?
Yes. This like this word corrected in my phone notes to salsa like so many times, and now it's just stuck there. So I apologize, but which
I
I'm
want
guessing is
salsa.
like an emotions reader is
Hmm.
what I got out of it.
That's what I gathered. Hmm.
And then I think she's like the queen's bounty hunter in a way. It's kind of what it
Yeah,
makes me
it's
think of.
yeah, that's what
So
it seems like.
yep. And then there's Ilka, which is her twin that she's talked about once or twice. So
Yeah, I
which
think
I'm
there's a lot more
assuming is
backstory
dead,
there.
but
I'm assuming so too.
yeah.
Hmm. And then the Slattery, Slattery,
I don't know.
Slattery.
Sure.
I don't know. They've only mentioned it a couple of times, but I also it seems kind of important. So this Slattery is a murderer that's traveling the road of bones. I
Yep,
feel
that
like we're gonna
nobody's seen, nobody knows
right.
about it. Yeah.
And I have a note about it later, like more detailed. But and then we have Vigidus, Vigid,
Prejudice and her
yeah,
nephew Dolly.
and her nephew Dolly is the woman on the road, and then also the woman
Yeah, that
who
like takes her across the bridge or whatever. Yeah.
and protects her,
Yep.
lies for her, and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay, I'm doing this next one because I like him, of course.
Okay.
Jonas Svik, Svik,
Civic.
Civic, Civic.
Civic.
I'm going to call our MMC,
Okay.
most likely. Yes. And he's also the second command in the Blood Axe crew, which I guess he came up before the rest of them. So we'll talk about the Blood Axe crew in a minute. But
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
Nickname the wolf.
right, right. They all have a cool nickname.
Yep. And then Magnus,
Hmm.
Erkin, the King Ivor's chief, like herdman or whatever.
Okay, I
And
looked
his,
that word up because I was like, what the heck is a
I
herdman?
don't
Because
know what
it's
that means.
Hirdman. I was like, what's a herdman?
Hmm.
It's a made up word. It was nowhere.
That's what I figured.
Hmm.
So who
Basically,
knows?
like
But
hired man, bounty hunter, basically
that's
do anything the king needs kind of guy.
that's kind of what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and his nickname is the Heart Eater.
Yeah.
So
And
then
then,
I'll
nope, go
do
ahead.
it
Go for
because
it.
this is who I think our MMC is, but
Oh,
our main one.
really? Interesting. Okay.
I kind of have some love boat things going on, but we'll get there when we get there. So
Cool.
there's Rainier Jarg, sure, whatever.
Yeah,
So he's
I
the
think
head
so.
man of the Blood Axe crew. His nickname is Axe Eyes.
Hmm.
Yep. And
And we
then
have Ilias,
Ellis.
Ilias.
Yeah,
Yep.
Elias.
He is Jonas's younger brother. And he also, which I will talk about this a little bit more later too, but he was spared from joining the Clarnars ranks as he should have done when he was 18 because he's a second son.
Yep. His nickname is No Beard.
I love that.
Yep. Sigrun, um, she doesn't speak, but she can hear because she can hear everybody
Hmm.
talking. But
Hmm.
this sign and stuff like that, she's got like terrible burn marks up and down her hands and arm, and I think even her face or something like that too.
Yeah, I
So
think they like go all the way from her face, like down her neck and her arms and stuff. And she's also a part of the Blood crew or Blood X crew.
yep. And I can't remember what her nickname was. I think they said it like once.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
I do either. And then there's Hecla, who I
Hmm.
love, the
I do
female with the
too.
prosthetic arm, and they call her like Ribs or Rib Crusher or something. I
Yeah, I
don't know.
think it's
It's
ribs. I
funny.
thought I loved that
And she's cool
because
as
she broke
shit.
Ilias's ribs. And I can't remember
Uh-huh.
why. He mouthed off or
Because he grabbed her
something.
tit.
Right, that's right. That part
That's
made
what
me
she
laugh.
says.
That was, yeah,
And
that was
it's so
good.
funny. Um, so
Hmm.
yeah. And then there's Gunnar,
Hmm.
Fire Hands. And him and Hecla do the midnight tango when they're bored. And they
Hmm.
just
Yeah, when
need
they're
a little
bored. They're not
loving.
together,
Yep.
but yeah. And then Crocky, Cracky,
Cracky. Yeah.
Cracky, the cranky former leader of the, I've been calling them the BA crew because it's
I
easier
like
than
it.
writing Blood
The
Axe crew.
badass crew.
So yeah, exactly. That's
BA
what I was
crew.
thinking. The BA
I
crew.
like it.
Yeah.
And then we had to put in horse. The
Oh,
horse.
right. I forgot about horse.
That was one of my entire funniest. I love that. So
Nice.
like between what is it, Kingfisher and Bill, and like
Yes.
they just the horse,
And
the
then
dude's horses
Kieran
are always
and
funny names. Kieran and what was his name? I think it was like
was his
Bob
Bill?
Bill or something.
But
I
yeah,
think
there's
his
like we
was
got like
Bill
Bob
too.
and
Yeah.
Bill and horse and yeah, it was
Freaking
fun. Yeah.
hilarious,
Hmm.
dude. So yeah, so that one had to be put in there because
Yeah.
horse named horse. All right, it is my time to shine. Location, 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 also known as map rants. This is the setting, where we are, where we're traveling, and of course, my famous map rants.
Mhm.
This whole book is going to be about like different locations and traveling and the journey, and I'm so excited. Okay, so we start in Skarstead, which, like I said, we're gonna butcher all of these
Oh
because
yeah.
I can't speak English, let alone whatever this is. So that's kind of where we're starting. This is where the first couple tussles
Oh,
happen and where
stop.
we're running from Wasilla. Okay, and then she needs to go to Copa in the north to find this basically safe house, and she'll be okay there. And that's where she's got to get to, which is all the
Hmm.
way on the other side of the map for the most part. Like, yes, there are some things above it, there are some things below where she's at, but mostly she has to go to the other side of this continent, whatever.
Do
So
you do you have the physical book? You're reading the physical
I
book, right?
do, and I have a
Okay.
map.
See, I feel like if I was reading the physical book, it would be easier. I'd be more intrigued with the map if I could go back and forth and like keep looking at
Eh,
it. But it's hard with the
I
Kindle
did.
to keep
Yeah,
doing that.
that's
So,
true.
okay.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
maybe I get us a map and I put it up as our
Mm.
put it up for a little bit. Yeah. Um okay, yeah. So that's Scylla's plan. That's her plan of action as she is traveling the road of bones, which goes up to basically Copa, or pretty close to it.
Hmm.
Um and this is all in the kingdom of Isildur, which that's what I'm calling it. Like I said, who knows if it's right or not, but that's what we're calling it. And so then, but when we talk with Skreda or whatever her name is, so she's starting in Rake Fjord. Fjord is a hard
Rick
Rake
Fjord,
Fjord.
Rick
Fjord is a
Fjord.
hard word for me on a normal day. Okay, we're just adding extra consonants and stuff. So anyway, so that's where she's starting, and which is, whatever. But she was saying something about how she like wants to get these jobs done or whatever, or have enough money or whatever to be able to run away to Sunavek. Okay, which is all the way
Okay.
at the other end, like the south end down by the southern bogs and stuff like that, on the road
I
of
just
bones.
pulled it up, so I'm looking at it now.
So I thought it's
Okay.
interesting that what I believe to be our two female main characters need to be at opposite ends of this country. There's also like
Mm.
two moons going on. Like,
Hmm.
it's interesting. I don't know if I've got anywhere to go off of that other than that.
Hmm.
And then I also kind of want to mention, okay, so like there's the sleeping dragons, which get
Yeah.
brought up like once, and they're like dormant volcanoes. Okay. Obviously, we're going there at some point. I don't know when, I don't know why. There's something to that, and I can't wait for that.
Hmm.
I feel like there's gonna be some type of creature we're going to meet there. Is it actually gonna be dragons? Who knows? But that'd be kind of cool.
It would be.
Yeah. And then so like I said, so Scylla gets to Rake Fjord, which is the first town on this like little journey. And then that's where we jump on with the Blood Axe crew. Well, only they
Hmm.
don't know it at first, right? And so the Blood Axe crew, though, they need to get up to Istar, which is like you go all
Oh
the way
gosh,
up
yeah, it's way up
the
there.
road of
Hmm.
bones, and then you hang a right, and then you got to still go all the way across and over towards the western woods or whatever, but you don't want to go into the Mordor lands, or the Norder. Oh my goodness, Norder
Goodness, yep.
Norder lands, the Norder lands. I feel like we're from Switzerland or something right
If
now trying to
any
do
book
this.
needed a pronunciation guide in the beginning, it was this one.
I think I have one in the back of this one. I'm
Really?
not sure. Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
Really? I
Yes,
wonder if mine has one. Let me look. Let's see, do I have one at the end?
Is
Oh, I do
Is
have
Eldor.
one.
Yep. So, like I said, we're in Reykjavik, and this is where we're meeting up with the Blood Axe crew. And so the Blood Axe crew now has a job where they need to go up to Istir and handle this murderous mist,
Hmm.
basically. So that's where they're going. They're heading all the way up past Copa. So don't worry, they can drop her off, but we're gonna pretend that they're not gonna drop her off. But that's probably what's gonna actually happen. But we're probably all going that direction, but we'll find out.
Hmm.
So, and then we also have that Savardi should be our next stop on our journey where we left off this story. And Jonas is going to go into the town market or whatever with Scylla
Hmm.
to get some supplies and such. But Greta is like less than a day behind Scylla now at this point, and she
Hmm.
knows where we're going, how we're getting there. So interesting. So anyway, so that is
Okay.
location, location, location for today. And I'm gonna love this book.
Yeah, it's good.
This was made for me.
Yeah, I'm very much enjoying it.
Yep. All right. History, what do we got?
History. Okay, so history lessons that we learn about and like things that happen before the current situation. So, first of all, in chapter one, we learn that the second sons of every household are conscripted at the age of 18 to serve the king as Clarnar, which is I know how not how you Kleitnar as Kleitnar.
Clarenar.
The pronunciation guide says Kleitnar.
Kletnar.
Kleitnar, like kite with an L.
Kleitnar.
Kleitnar.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah, so like a draft basically.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then I have no idea what chapter I read this in because I apparently didn't put chapters down. But so 17 years ago, King Ivor, when he came over, he conquered, he
Conquered.
conquered the throne, and he killed the family that was there,
Hmm.
which was the Vol Vol Volsic, the Volsic king, whatever he
Yeah.
was,
Hmm.
wife, son, and a daughter. And supposedly there's a princess that survived Princess Saga in the last, and she's like the last of this Volsic line.
Hmm.
And she was to be married to his son Bjorn. Bjorn.
What I gathered is that he like kept her, that
He
he like
kept her as
has her.
his
Hmm.
ward or whatever is what it
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think it could be Scylla.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of, I feel like what it's being set up as. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then like a sister that got pulled away by a whole bunch of guards and stuff like that. The little
Hmm.
blonde girl ghost.
Yeah,
I
that
don't know.
I have thoughts and theories on that a little bit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Clues and foreshadowing. So Jess has got a lot. So I'm gonna let you go and then I'll jump in where needed.
Okay, it's hard because we're just starting a book. So it's hard to know what is actually pointing towards things that are going to happen in the future and what's not. So I did have a lot because I just don't know yet. All right, so
Yeah.
this is in chapter 1 and also in chapter 6. Kind of all meshes together a little bit. But the Kleitnar, so they're all like these physically imposing people, men, creatures, and they all have three claw marks tattooed along their right cheek. They're the second sons, like we talked about, the second sons of Isildur, and
Mhm.
they're rumored to change not just physically but mentally as well once they take the claw.
Yeah.
So something happens when they go through this ritual when they become Kleitnar and pledge themselves to King Ivar and the bear god Ursur. And so a little quote from the book, it says that no matter how diminutive their stature before the ritual, they return transformed, tall and built like mountains, their newly inked faces etched in permanent scowls. It was said they carried Ursur's blessing in their veins, which I have some thoughts on later. And then in chapter 6, a little more on them, we find out that they take something called Burskium powder. Um, and there's more on that in chapter 8. I have a note on that later also. But at this ritual and then every month after. And that's what gives them their strength and stature, and it also alters their minds and dulls their emotions.
Mhm.
I think the Burskium is going to be important. That's why I put that in there.
Yeah. I think her gold leaves are similar.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something with those two, which I
Yeah.
have some notes on later too. Yeah.
I just had like, and then this is from chapter one, was we've got some witch trials going on of some sort, and I'm so
Hmm.
excited because I love witches. So bring on the witches.
See, I felt the same way and I was like, no, please don't be witches.
I know they're not your favorite, but they are mine. So I'm excited.
All right, then chapter two, Scylla sees the unseen, and she appears to be able to talk to the like dead people, and I'm also gonna guess that there's like other things too, because they don't specifically say it's just dead people. They just that she can see the unseen. And
Mhm.
she's obviously Galdra. Like we
Yeah,
know that.
some sort.
Um
She's a witch, dude. I'm
yeah.
telling you, she's a witch.
She's
She came down in a
yeah.
bubble, dude.
I get that now.
And you're telling me that I'm wrong? This is,
Mhm.
if you don't know what we're talking about, it's a funny meme, but also I kept saying this throughout the entire time we did Brimstone. So go
Brimstone,
back and
yeah.
check those out if
Yep.
you want to hear my rant on that. Anyway,
Okay, and then chapter three is when we first hear about the little girl
yeah,
that is like just there with Scylla all the time. So I'm not going to go too much into it now because I know we both have thoughts and theories on this later.
yeah,
Um, and then chapter three, the warriors that came after her and her father, which we know is not her actual father,
not the mama.
right? Not the mama. Um, they're from the queen, not the king, which I also
Yeah,
find quite
just the queen.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yep. Um, chapter four, and also I'm gonna get into this again later too. But with the skjold leaves and her headaches, there's something there.
Yep.
There's something important there. It makes me think of what was our first series? The Spark.
Spark at the
Yeah,
Everflame.
yeah.
Yeah, like
I was
dulls
getting
your nullifies your powers and such. Yeah.
yes. Yeah. Yep.
I agree. And like after what Ray says, I can't remember what chapter it's towards the end of this section, but like how
hmm
he says that how it brings like extremists closer to the gods or whatever.
Yeah, he's like, "Why are you messing around with those?"
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "I don't know,
Yep.
they help my headaches or
Help me
whatever."
headaches, dude.
Yeah.
Just a little weed, dude. That's cool. That's fine.
Yep.
That's how exactly how she says it.
And then
Not
we have
exactly, but
yeah. I was getting the same vibes.
same vibes. Yep.
And then chapter five, we have Feathers the Owl, which we talked about a little bit, but it seems like there's a lot of like symbolism. A lot of creatures that mean different like good omens or bad omens and stuff. And so this owl that seems to sort of like follow and also guide her on her first trek when she gets to getting to Rake Fjord. Um, there's a few references to the owl, so I think that's going to be important later.
Yeah, and owls are seen like as can be like dead people or spirits guiding you in that sort of sense too.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's interesting. Maybe her mom that like we don't really get much information on other than like she died when she was like 10
right.
and that's about it.
Yeah, yeah, it could be.
So
That's a good thought. And then chapters, well, so this would be six, but also gets mentioned in chapter 11. Um, Skreda, which I don't remember how her name is actually supposed to be said, but
I
Skreda.
think it's great.
So this chick, she's pretty interesting. We talked about her a little
Yeah.
already, but she's obviously Galdra, and she's a solacer, like Leslie had already said. She can sense emotions and manipulate them, and she sees the emotions as like different colored threads, and she can
Hmm.
mess with the threads.
And like pull on them and stuff.
Right. Yeah. And some threads are like more prominent and easier to manipulate, and some she really has to dig for. Um, she's a Galdra warrior, which what I'm gathering is kind of what the queen calls her like Galdra that she uses for her purposes instead of
Yeah.
killing them. Because what we've gathered so far is that the Galdra are being hunted and killed regularly.
Yeah.
They're not good. According to the king, does not want any Galdra. The queen, however, is like going under his nose and recruiting some of them
Hmm.
to help her with whatever it is that she's got going on. And she's got something going on here. So Skreda is one of those. And then in both chapter 7 and 8, um, again, we hear about this like Slattery guy, gal. I don't know. We don't know if
Latari.
it's a guy or a gal. Slatari. I like that better. Supposedly this murderer that's traveling the Road of Bones, and we only hear like two little mentions of it, but it seems important. Even though we only had two little mentions, they seemed important. So I think we're gonna
Yeah.
see more of this. And this person supposedly like burns his victims from the inside out and is
Hmm.
suspected to be Galdra. If,
Yeah.
at first, when I first heard about this, I was thinking immediately like, oh, is this our MMC? Seems like be on the right track for the
Yeah.
MMC, like murderous,
But like
mysterious
doesn't it, and
person.
this is like to Scaldra or whatever, isn't the queen like saying something about how she wants like firemancers or something like that
Yeah, she
too?
wants, yeah,
So it's like this
Firebringers or whatever.
a fire, yeah, a firebringer of some
Yeah.
sort. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So that was my thought.
hmm And then chapter 8. So the berskium powder is something that they mine.
Hmm.
And apparently there's been a situation at this mine, leaving two foremen dead and the main like mine shaft destroyed, which is like the year's cachet of berskium is set to ruin, which is a big deal.
Yep.
There's something about this berskium powder also.
Yeah. Which is what they put in the super soldiers.
Right. Yeah, that turns them into
Makes them
Captain
super
Americas.
soldiers. Yeah.
Um, then in chapter 8 again, we have where we find out that there's strange things happening in Istre.
It's true.
There's livestock going missing and farmers also evidence of a struggle and blood spattered across rooms and like walls torn to shreds and stuff. Like there's a fight when these farmers are going missing,
Hmm.
along with like claw marks in the floorboards as though they're being like dragged from the room and struggling. And the locals claim it's like a thick white mist with the sound of a beating heart.
Yep.
And some of the Kleitnar were sent to assist a few weeks earlier than when we're reading, but an incident occurred, and their bodies were found in Istra's town square. They were
Yep.
secured to Ursur's pillars by a strange-looking vines. That's the only time we hear about these strange-looking vines, so I feel like that
Hmm.
also is going to be interesting. It's like important. Um, and they were also like stabbed through the heart by something wider and rounder than a sword or dagger. And
Yeah.
all around their bodies were a symbol written in blood over and over, a spiral stave, which apparently is like the Volsic sigil. And the Volsics or sigil. The
Yeah.
Volsics are the ones that King Ivar like conquered and took over.
Yep. And before, and supposedly, like this Princess Saga is the
Volsic.
last heir of them. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. All right, then chapter 9. So King Ivar took over. Okay, I may have gotten this wrong because I know I was falling asleep here. It's not the, was it the Ursics? I could not figure this detail out. Volsix,
I
Ursix, I'm not sure. Anyways, what we talked about already. So like he killed their king, their queen, their daughter, and then one of their line survived the sacking of Sunavik, which I'm guessing is like the main town or
Yeah,
something.
it's down in the south. That's where
Okay,
yeah, it's like the main capital of the country or
of
whatever.
that. Okay.
Isildur or whatever it is.
And their 5-year-old Princess Saga is now being raised as Ivar's ward and is the future bride for his son Bjorn.
For sure. Yep.
Okay, in chapter 12, there's a lot of like flashback dreams in this book
Yes.
too, which I like those.
Yes.
That it's interesting.
When you
So
get
Scylla
background
has,
information, yeah.
yeah. So she has like a little flashback dream of her and a girl, which I'm guessing is the girl.
It says the little blonde girl. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna guess is the girl who she now sees all the time. And it seems like this girl was alive at the time. Like they were
Yep.
both young. They're hiding under a table, and then the dream ends with them like being pulled out.
Yep.
There's people coming in, men, boots, all this stuff, and then they like are pulled out. Also, I think a piece to the puzzle that we're gonna find out more later.
Yep.
Chapter 15. I just had to throw this in there because this is why I think Jonas is our MMC, because this is the first time like Scylla goes off to clear her head or whatever in the woods, and Jonas follows her, and they have like a fleeting little moment
Okay.
between the two of them. I put that in clues and foreshadowing because yeah, we've got the plot and all that stuff that we have to think about the clues and foreshadowing, but also the romance is there too. And that's our first little moment between the two of them. So
Okay. Okay.
I will give you, she does have moments with Ray also. I was slightly confused, but I feel like Jonas is going to
I
be
think
our
we're
main,
supposed to be confused.
probably. Yeah. Um, this one I found interesting. Okay, so chapter 17. So, quote, it takes a small man to be riled by fear and a large one to show mercy. So Scylla said those words to Ray a couple chapters back, for the first time, and he'd asked her where she heard them then. And then he thinks of him again here in this chapter and says how it was his own father who said them to him and to his brother Christian.
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 Okay.
Um, I think Ray is somehow connected to Scylla. I have some thoughts on that. Okay, and then chapter 18, we have another flashback moment, and this is from Skreda,
Mhm.
from back when she became part of the Queen's, like, I don't know, armada or whatever, warriors, whatever she is. Like when she very first is like, apparently she's captured and then tries to prove to the Queen that she can be useful because apparently there's tons of solacers out there, and she's like, no, I'm special.
Yeah.
I'll help you. Um, and then the Queen is like, I want ash bringers with fire magic. And Skreda is like, I know someone. I know one. I'll bring them to you. But we never
I
find
bet
out
it's her
who.
sister.
That's what I gathered too, was that it was
I
her
bet it's her
sister.
sister. I bet she sold her sister out.
I think so. I
Yeah.
think so too. Yep. And then my last one here for clues and foreshadowing, chapter 20. Again. So there's more feelings for Jonas. Like they just keeps good. This is again like why I think he's our MMC. So that was a quick little bleep from chapter 20. She's just got these little, like, she keeps noticing things about him and he keeps following her into the woods and they keep having these weird little moments and stuff. So,
All right. Quotes and honorable mentions. So specific quotes or things we wanted to bring up that didn't really fit in another category. What you got?
all right. So, chapter 8, I just thought we'd bring this up. The rhodium blades.
Uh-huh.
So, rhodium is a rare metal and it's nearly unbreakable and particularly lethal to the type of creatures lurking in the western woods. And
Yep.
that's the blades that, whatever that guy's name is, gives to the Blood Axe
The
crew.
Magnus
Matt,
dude.
yeah, that guy.
Yeah, which
Um,
is interesting because the Western Woods are over like on the other side of the Sleeping Dragons, and that's
right,
basically where Isler, wherever they're supposed to be going,
right.
where that's located. So,
Yeah. So he gives them these special blades, hopefully to help them. But I think the rhodium's probably going to be important later. I'm not really sure. I didn't know whether to put this in clues and foreshadowing
yeah,
or
I don't know.
quotes and honorable mentions. So, and then my only other one was chapter 21. This part just made me chuckle because like Jonas is watching Scylla. She's, I think, fighting with,
I think
like
this is Ray.
training. Is it
This
Ray?
is
One
Ray
of
says
them.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's training with Hecla and she's done and she trips over a rock and she literally apologizes to the rock. He's
Yeah.
like basically like fuck my life. Is she seriously like this girl is traveling with us and she just apologized to a rock. What am I
Yep.
doing with my
Yep.
life right now? Yeah, I found that comical.
All right. Love Island and who we're shipping it to. Who'd you put on the love boat?
Okay, I feel
Because I
like now
disagree.
this is where we're gonna get into it. Yep.
Go
I
for it.
thought it was obvious. I totally thought it was obvious. Scylla and Jonas are FMC and MMC.
Maybe for the moment. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so she's a maiden. I'm pretty sure
Hmm.
he's gonna take the V card.
Hmm.
But I think in the end of this, I'm telling you, it's gonna be Scylla and Ray, and I think it's gonna be Jonas and Scaldra.
Oh, Skreda,
Scaldra,
Skreda, Skreda.
Scrata. Yes,
Hmm.
because they
Interesting.
both want just a happy little ending or whatever, and then Ray and Scylla are more like we need to be like doing shit with our lives, and they have that little like connection when he sees her
Yeah.
crescent moon scar or whatever by her eye. It is like, oh,
And
I
he like
couldn't kill
cannot
her.
kill
And it
her
like,
and
yeah, and
yeah.
it like calls to me and it makes me pause.
See, I have
100%
different
them.
thoughts on that though. But I'll get into that in
Okay.
thoughts and theories because that goes along with my thoughts and theories.
All right.
Interesting though.
But
Interesting.
yeah. I think those are like our four main players of the game because we haven't
Yeah.
gotten anybody else's point of view. So we've got
I will
Ray, we've
say,
got go ahead.
oh, sorry. I will say that I think it messed with my head a little bit when we find out that Jonas is like blonde hair, blue-eyed, and Ray is like got the darker features, dark
Dark,
hair, dark
curly
skin,
hair, dark skin.
dark
Yeah.
everything. And then if you read fantasy, romantasy, it's
It's
never the
never the
blonde
first
guy.
one either.
It's never the first and it's never the blonde guy. So that would be the only chink in my thoughts here.
I think Jonas is gonna be her first. I think he's gonna shag it in the woods, but I don't think he's in game.
I kind of still think he is. For now, I'm going with Jonas as our MMC.
Uh, no, I got him in the blonde or the
Okay.
redhead. I got him in the
Yeah, I guess
redhead,
she is redhead. I do see her as blonde too, but yeah,
Rita or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's funny. I didn't think that we were gonna have different opinions on that. That's interesting.
I have no idea, but that's what I'm thinking. That's where I'm at. That's what I'm thinking. So, all
Okay.
right, let's get into thoughts and theories.
Okay. You
So,
go first. I've been
okay.
talking a lot.
Yeah, you go for it. Or wait, I'm going for it. I'll
You're
go
going
for it.
for
I
it.
got it. Okay. So this is definitely giving me Throne of Glass vibes.
Oh yeah.
100%. I think it's with the multiple point of views, the third person. Like, I like it. Like, we've got a journey ahead of us. Oh man, I'm just loving all of it. So,
hmm
um, my husband just walked in. He throws me off every time he does that. Um, so I'm not a fan of Scylla. I'm not. I
hmm
don't know what it is. Not a fan of her. But I'm loving the rest of the groups or the group, I guess.
hmm
Um, and other than I think she's like the witch and the princess,
hmm
like I also think that the ghost girl is like her sister. It just makes sense to me.
hmm
Um, and I've really got nothing for theories. So I know I don't want to put this book down. It's like super bingeable.
Yeah.
And I just kind of kept going, even though the chapters weren't really all that short or anything like that. I just kind of just wanted to keep going, and
hmm
I like it. Other than I can't pronounce any of it, but it sounds great.
Yes.
Um, and I just feel like we picked a fabulous first read for 2026. So,
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
what are your thoughts and theories?
All right.
I have a feeling I'm vibing this time, and you're going in for deep
Okay.
dives, man.
I feel like anymore at the very beginning of a series, I'm like big on the thoughts and theories and you're more vibing, and then we get into it and then you're like
And then I switch.
all
Yeah, because
thoughts and theories and I'm vibing.
I write it, and I
Yeah.
take it all in, and then oh, that sounded dirty. Oh my goodness, my husband. Oh my, go away. Okay, okay. Anyway, yes, I think that's what it is. Is like I take in all the information and then I start putting pieces together.
Yeah. Yeah. I start putting pieces together too early and I think I'm like doing a great job and then we get into it and I'm like, I don't know. Hell if I know
Hell
what's
if
going
I
on.
know what's going on. I mean, my main character died. I don't know.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay, but I do
Okay.
want to hear your thoughts and theories.
Okay. So I don't know who to start with here. I guess let's start with Scylla. I agree with you. She's also not quite my favorite yet. I like I like an FMC that's a little stronger, a little more worldly than this so far. I think
Yeah.
that's my problem is with her so far. Um,
She's stupid. Can I
she
just say it?
is.
She's stupid, and
She
I
is
don't like how stupid she is.
with all of the surviving she's had to do and all the running and all the changing of places, you'd think that she'd pick up a little more street smarts than she has,
Yeah,
I feel
no
like.
kidding.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree with you that on that one. She's not my favorite yet. Um, okay, with the little girl, I I also have the same thoughts as you, but I also have potential different, like either the little girl or Scylla are the lost princess because the little girl was taken when she was 5, right? So, and it doesn't necessarily say that Scylla only sees dead people, just the unseen. So somehow I kind of wonder if Scylla is connected, maybe a sibling or a cousin or something, somehow connected to the little girl. I think the little girl is the princess, but for some reason, she's stuck in Scylla's mind in this Galdra sense that she has as her like 5-year-old self. But she's obviously older now. But that's my thoughts. Like maybe it was like the last time she saw her or
Mm,
something. Because she was taken when she was 5. When they first introduced this little girl, they talk about her as like a little 5-year-old. So
yeah,
that or I don't know. Originally,
no,
I kind of was also thinking like maybe are they one and the same, but then there's the flashback dream where they're together
yeah.
and two different people. So there's something there. I can't quite put
So you
together
just
what it
can't
is.
decide if
I can't
she's
decide if
dead or
Scylla is
not,
this
I
lost
guess.
princess or if it's the little girl that's the lost princess and Scylla is connected as maybe a sibling, cousin, maybe like a handmaiden, something. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Um, We don't know who Scylla's true parents are. We don't know why she originally had to start running. We don't know where Tomas Matthias, her not father, came from.
Not the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know where he came from, why he took her under his wing, and why they started running. We don't know any of that yet.
Yeah.
I believe we'll probably find out.
And she doesn't either, which
Exactly.
just makes it more interesting.
Hmm. Yeah,
That's where
and
I
she's
think where
just,
like Skreda comes in. And I
yeah,
think
I
also Ray
agree.
comes in.
So I'll go off of that then now. I kind of have this weird feeling that somehow Skreda is like connected to Scylla on a familial level or something. It's fuzzy, but
Yeah.
it's there.
Something's there. Yeah. I
You feel
agree.
like Scylla and Skreda are connected somehow, and this little girl is connected with the both of them also.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Like originally I was actually almost thinking that Skreda is like Scylla's sister or something like that, or her mom. And we also don't know if like the Galdra trait is passed down genetically or is it just random? Because it seems like Skreda is quite a bit, maybe not quite a bit, but she's older than Scylla, so maybe she's like her
Yeah.
mom or an older sister or something. They're both Galdra. I don't know. So
Yeah.
I think they're all connected. But um okay, so also going off of like people being connected. So this is where I think that Ray is not going to be the romantic interest for Scylla. Ray is older. They talk about how he's like got a couple gray hairs and stuff like that. He's like
I
the
didn't hear
oldest
that.
of the group. And
I'm gonna tell
so
Levi you said that. He's old because he
he's
has gray
I said
hairs. Guess what?
older,
You
older.
leave my silver fox alone.
Oh, but
Everybody needs a
like
little bit of silver in them.
Ray is like I think that Ray is her real father. That's why I think he can't kill her. I
Wait,
think
what?
yes, that's what I think. I
She talks
think
about how he's attractive.
r-
Gross.
I know I agree that that's gross, but also she doesn't know. She she talks about how he's, but she doesn't talk about him being attractive the same way she talks about Jonas being attractive. When she talks about Ray, it's more of like a she can appreciate his demeanor and his stature and whatnot. But with Jonas, it's actually like lustful. With Ray, I wasn't getting that same vibe from her.
She's a 20-year-old virgin. Yeah, anything that shows his forearms is gonna be making her hot and bothered, okay?
Exactly. That kind of proves my point. Like, so obviously Ray is like a strong, good-looking guy, but also he's older. And
I'm what's wrong with older men?
nothing. However, I feel like Jonas is a little more in the ballpark for her at
Yeah, he's
26.
26.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't think it said Ray was that old, but
I could be wrong. I might have to go back
I'm
and
just
look at
saying
that.
I'm going for the older one, but you do you, boo boo.
So I think, especially because like she quotes that thing that she says to him. I can't remember the quote. I said it earlier. But
Oh
how Ray
yeah, the
was taken
thing. And
aback
then
by
it's
it
like I
like
heard that from my
twice.
dad and
He
my
heard it
brother.
from
Yeah.
his dad, and his dad used to say it to him and his brother. Is there a sister that we don't know about? Is she that person? Maybe she's his sister. Maybe she's his daughter. I don't know. I don't know. But
Okay.
somehow her and Ray, I feel like, are connected not in a romantic way. I think they're connected more in
In
a
a familial
familial
way.
way.
And you also think um redhead is
Skreda,
yeah,
Skreda.
redhead.
Yeah, redhead. Somehow they're all connected. I don't know
Was
how. I don't
she
know
the
if they're
redhead that
like,
Jonas was screwing at the inn?
I don't think so. I don't think so because they do
I
say what
can't wait
her
for them to
actual
meet.
name is. Yeah.
Now I want to know.
But there's something there. There is something there. Like the reason that Ray can't kill her, she says the quote that he knows from his father. I don't know.
Okay.
Was Matthias Tomas whatever was is he Ray's father? Also, maybe because did she hear that from him?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't know. There's so many thoughts about all this
You
people
have a lot of
connected.
thoughts, and we are
Yeah.
apparently on different spectrums.
Yep.
Okay.
on the topic of, I guess we'll go with the people still. So Jonas, I don't know if there's like shifters in this story at all. I kind of feel like
Oh
there's
yeah.
not. But also, when Jonas has his little flashbacks to his childhood, his mother always calls him Pup. And then his
Mm-hmm.
nickname in the BA crew is Wolf.
Yep.
So that just was like interesting to me. I don't know. Is he like some
Yeah.
sort of like shifter? Some guy? Is he Galdra and we don't know about it? I don't know.
Are they all
But
called Red? We don't know about it.
that was like kind of an off the wall thought, but I was like, I don't know. I feel like there's a little connection between like his mom's nickname for him and now the nickname he has in the crew. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, Last thing is just like there's obviously a lot of symbolism in this book. The creatures,
Yeah.
like we've got creatures, we've got herbs and leaves, we've got so many different things. The Burskium powder, the rhodium blades. There's so many different like symbols and magical substances and creatures and things like that. I don't know
Yeah.
what to pay attention to and what not to, but I feel like they're all going to be important at some point.
Probably. Yeah.
So
It's very Throne of Glass. Like, I don't know.
it
That's all
is.
I'm saying. It's very
It
Throne of Glass.
it also truly does remind me a lot of the Spark of the Everflame series.
See, it makes me think a lot of Shield of Sparrows. And obviously, Shield of Sparrows was after this, but
I was getting those vibes too. Yeah,
with like the different creatures and stuff like
right.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's what I've got.
Okay. I like it. Series cry counter. Are we
0.
still okay? Good. We're both still at
Yeah,
0. I'm
zero.
glad.
Zeros so far.
All right.
Okay, so Book Besties Thursdays. Book Besties Thursdays is a book club style read where we pick a book to read each month together other than the series that we're currently reading.
Yes. And these are all sorts of different genres of books that we'll just be doing just vibes and reading and talking about it and discussing the book as a whole.
Hmm.
One Thursday a month as of right now.
So for January, we're branching out and reading Key Ridge by Alison Specka or Speka? Specka?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. She is also an Avalanche fan. So, go Avs.
Nice.
So we can't wait to get on that and start reading it and talk about it later this month.
Yeah. We hope that you are all enjoying reading and discussing this new series with us.
Want to be a BookCast member? Then do all the social media things like, follow, comment, and subscribe on all platforms for the Unhinged BookCast.
Next week, we will be diving into our second of 3 reading sections for The Road of Bones by Demi Winters with chapters 23 through 45.
So, to avoid spoilers for yourself, please be sure to read through chapter 45 before coming back to listen to the next episode.
If you can't wait to talk about it, you can do so over the Fable app and discuss with us spoiler-free chapter by chapter.
And as always, buddy reading any book with Book Besties is so much fun.
So make sure to share our podcast with your book besties. And if you don't have any book besties,
Then become one of ours. And until next week, fill those drinks with ice.
and your books with spice.
Bye.
Bye.